Warner Brothers, I'm sending this message to you. Warner Brothers, Shazam, the makers of Shazam, all filmmakers everywhere. All filmmakers everywhere. Disney has dropped the ball. Rotten Tomatoes dropped the ball. YouTube, Google. These people has gone out of their way to bolster a terrible film. Just Captain Marvel is trash, right? But that's not necessarily a reflection on okay, it is a reflection on the brand. Marvel, you've dropped the ball with your cultural Marxism, and DC, you're not far behind. You're trying to push trash into people's mouth and call it good, and you don't have that right. If I want shit, I will say, give me shit on a plate, make it hot. I'm not gonna say, well, I'll try your shit because you're insisting I try it. No, we don't want that. Okay? Even if I was a sinner, even if I was a sinner, Sinner, even if I was involved in some real off the wall shit, and I'm kind of not, but even if I were involved in some off the wall shit, I assure you, my good friends, I personally would not, would not be out there saying to filmmakers and comic book makers of pop culture that I want you to give it to me that way. I'd be getting it in the most serious ways possible because that's how it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a distinction. If I'm going to sit at the front room table and eat food and dinner with my family, and I'm secretly in the what's it, anyhow, scat. I'm secretly into scat eating. I'm not gonna tell a fine babe, yo babe, drop me a hot shit on this plate so I can eat it. No. No, in the family there, it's supposed to be a distinction. So if you into that weird, strange Marxist shit, then do that behind closed doors, in hidden alleys, and whack movies like how it used to be those whack joints you go into big trench coat and you rub one out in the dark of a theater. I don't want you to put it in my pop culture. The minute you do that and then you're forcing it and tell it, oh, it's okay for kids, then we're going to have a fucking problem. But beyond all of that, and I do apologize for using a little bit of language because I tend to get a bit, what really gets me is how Disney got Rotten Tomatoes to give Captain Trash positive reviews, okay? Captain Trash, positive reviews. Disney set up a horrible precedence in that if I'm a filmmaker, Rotten Tomatoes, Google, YouTube, you better treat my film like you treated Captain Marvel. All you reviewers online, everyone who writes and publishes an article who praise this shit film, if I'm a filmmaker and you don't roll out the carpet for me like you did Disney, I will sue all of the above into oblivion. Because Disney went above and beyond for what essentially is nothing more than a stock purchase. Okay, you're buying 20th Century Fox, you're afraid that the film bombs, the stock will drop like it did with Solo. You don't want that to happen. Even though to circumvent all that, stop doing shit, stop making shit, stop hiring cultural Marxist assholes. That would solve all your problems. But you people are not about that. You're about indoctrination. You're about infecting. But I don't want to go off on a rant, but I have to just go on for 40 seconds. Even though we've established what this video was about. Things are changing. Technology is changing. And here's the thing. You virtue signalers and you fake media and all the rest of you, listen up. Technology is changing. I wrote a story that I haven't obviously released, but I wrote a story in which Marxists lost control of the narrative because technology caught up with brilliance and intelligence. They say that entanglement is impossible for you to give signals like a radio signal or any signal with entanglement, but it's impossible because we haven't discovered how. In my story, the guy used entanglement And he uses, and I'm trying to figure out how to make this a technology because I'd make trillions of dollars. This I do know, that if you could find a way to make entanglement work with the quantum eraser, okay? The stud experiment quantum eraser, if you were able to send information using these, you don't have to depend on no satellite, no network, no internet. Every message sent is virtually instantaneous. And all a person would need to put on their mobile phone is an app. Which app is irrelevant. So you could, because if you said which app, everyone would block that app. So all of a sudden now, with this app, information appears on my phone. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. They have no control over the information now. I can now hook up my phone to my TV, to whatever I want to hook it up to. And all of a sudden now I'm watching reports, I'm getting information that is, and here's the thing, because it uses the quantum eraser technology, to be able to view it, I have to be familiar with certain keys. So the keys is in my awareness. So when using the quantum eraser, that if you are not part of the awareness, because it's called an awareness code. I send you the awareness code. It's a lot like, remember that episode of Babylon 5? Where, not episode, sorry, the movie is a Babylon 5 movie where Galen sends this data stream, this entanglement, and he was able to, because this was on my mind for years, like how would Galen have done that to John Sheridan? I know I'm geeking out, but I just love the Techno Majors. I don't care, I love Babylon 5 Techno Major. Greatest sci-fi ever. If you ever want to read a great book, 3 books, oh my God, I gotta buy them. And I don't want no digital copy, because that's just, that's like horrible. No, that's like saying I'm going to eat, virtual food. Bullshit. You want a real meal. Jane Kavlos, The Passing of the Techno Majors. I haven't read it in, I don't know, years. A little over a decade now. But when I want to get I'm geeking out. Okay, Jane Kavlos, Passing of the Techno Majors, get that. But in any event, the entanglement, okay? Disney is going to lose control over the entanglement, and when that happens, not lose control of the entanglement. What am I saying? It's early. It's almost 6:30. Okay, I'm sleepy now. Disney is going to lose control over the narrative, as are all the other marketers. And when that happens, they're going to try and shoot themselves, because they can't go to Congress and say, big government, big government, big government. Stop these people from not hearing our poison, or not giving their children our poison anymore. But that's going to happen. And when that happens, you guys are lost, because no one's going to pay. You're basically going to wither up and die, because no one's going to look at your way anymore. At all, for any reason. But yeah, Shazam is coming out, and everyone is like, Shazam is not going to make that much money, but so they're really setting the bar low for Shazam. They're going all in at Shazam, which we know will be a great film, but here's Captain Shit, and they're like, oh, the second coming. Sue them.